We got bounding into comics. They say Netflix's English dub of Tiger and Bunny 2 changes dialogue to have Golden Ryan criticize outdated gender norms and declare himself a feminist.
Oh shit. Here we go again.
If you're out of the loop, we have seen Western companies taking advantage of Japanese intellectual property time and time again. One of the most infamous examples of such is when Funimation completely changed the dialogue of Dragon Maid to have Toru rant about the patriarchy. Another infamous example was Funimation's dub of Prison School, where they had a character rant about Gamergate. In the original intellectual property, the source material in other words, these things are not talked about. But you get politically obsessed people in positions of power at Western companies, whether they are localizers and translators or even higher up on the food chain, so to speak, at ADR director roles, where they decide to shoehorn in their Western political viewpoints into the intellectual property, again, completely changing the content in the very overt hopes of trying to manipulate the viewers' viewpoints on these topics. It's especially ironic because if you take a look at these corrupt individuals at these corrupt companies, they're often the same types that will complain about cultural appropriation elsewhere. Yet you take a look at what they're doing to Japanese intellectual property that they are profiting off of, by the way, and it starts to raise some questions. Let's go back to the new situation with Netflix and Tiger and Bunny though. Here's the line itself. Golden Ryan says, "It was nothing. It's an outdated gender norm. I still feel like I need to protect you. I was raised better. I think I might be a feminist." Also right here. "I won't try to protect you anymore," Ryan declares, "unless maybe someone has a gun or something." That's feminist, right, princess? Now, to my understanding in the original Japanese IP, the original context, Golden Ryan does talk about being overprotective towards this character because she's a woman, and he essentially talks about how he wants to do better on that front, but he never talks about anything related to feminism or gender norms. It seems especially bizarre to change the Japanese context to talk about feminism when feminism itself is not very popular in Japan. Case in point, a number of months ago, I reported on a situation regarding this VTuber Rika, who paired up with a Chiba Prefecture Police Department to create an advertisement that promotes traffic safety to the public. Well, a feminist group in Japan, yes, there are feminists in Japan, like I said though, it's not a very popular movement. So this feminist group targeted Rika and her VTuber agency, Vase, with a smear campaign, essentially saying that the advertisement was problematic because the character Rika was too sexualized and she was a very problematic looking VTuber. Well, a petition was created in support of Rika and the Traffic Safety Awareness Program, collecting over 70,000 signatures, where Japanese citizens essentially said that the feminist league was completely out of line. Eventually, Rika's VTuber agency found out about my coverage itself and gave me a personal thanks for it. And I have all those videos in a playlist, by the way, if you're curious and want to check them out for yourself. I'll link that playlist in the description. The situation actually blew up so much that Japanese politicians even got involved to defend Rika. And a Japanese news organization also got involved, running a survey asking 20 men and women in their teens to 30s in Matsudo City about this topic. And only 1 out of 20 people found that Rika's outfit was problematic. I personally found the traffic safety ad to be a nice thought, and the animations with the ghost mascots was very cute. It's a shame a feminist league had to try and ruin an event that was purely intended to promote traffic safety to help people. It's also reminiscent of when feminists tried to ruin a collaboration between the Japanese Red Cross and Uzaki-chan. Now, this collaboration was for a blood drive, and statistically, having Uzaki-chan on promotional material increased the amount of blood donations people made to the organization. However, a group of feminists said that Uzaki-chan was too sexualized and it was misogynistic, and so they tried to cancel the entire event. Anyways, that's the news, as well as some other relevant events that you may or may not have been aware of. Regardless, I hope you found this segment to be interesting, and if you did, please consider liking and subscribing. I'll see you in the comments and also in the next segment, which I'm going to get to work on right now. Catch you then.